Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Sky's Expert. In this episode, we get started on our thrilling auto-crafting journey with applied energistics and figure out the ins and outs in a way that even a refined storage plebeian like myself can comprehend. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoy. All right, folks, we're going to get right back into it in just a moment, but I just wanted to give a quick little update as far as some things go with kind of the logistical side of these episodes and everything like that. Next week, I'm going to actually be taking exams for college and everything, so there's probably going to be no videos next week just so I can, study up for those and do well and everything. But after that, we should be back on our regular schedule of everything. And, based on how it turns out, there might be one next weekend if I have some time, but I don't really know exactly what it's going to look like and how busy I'm going to be between all that. But, yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a head up. I'm probably going to also make a community post about it, just for anybody who doesn't see this video, so they can kind of stay in the loop and know what's going on. But yeah, guys, let's get back into kind of what I have planned for today's episode. So one of the things I want to get started now that we have access to the Ostrom and the Ostrom kind of processors and everything, is auto-crafting in terms of applied energistics, right? And really quickly, I'd like to note that I set up this system in between episodes for the creation of our what's it called? Our Flux infused gems. It uses a modular router setup, right? So if we look in here, I made these cinder modules, which are really easy to make. These are like nothing. But if we look inside of here, we can see that I use a regulator augment to set this item count to 1, right? So in this one and this one, right, I have the same thing, and with the regulator module only sending 1 item, right? And so they go into this energizing orb, right? And we feed the items into the buffer. As you can see here, like we have dragon stones because we had a little bit more of those than the volatile I'm forgetting what the word, the substrate or whatever. But we load our general materials in this chest, and then I have a filter here that says, hey, send one of these items to the blue pipe and one of these items to the green pipe, and that's kind of what keeps them separated and keeps these stocked. And then this center modular router is simply just pulling out the finished product, the flux infused gem. So by putting the whitelist here to our end result, it will not pull this out until it's done, which is nice. And then this sender module, all it's doing is putting it in the chest above it. So we have it here and everything. So that's pretty cool. Fairly simple setup, not too complex or anything like that. But yeah, I also went ahead and I wanted Certus to get kind of produced without the whole enriching process. So I crafted up these little guys. They're pretty interesting. They are the amethyst golems from Ars Nouveau, and they actually harvest the Certus crystals, I believe. Well, I don't believe, I know they do. But the way we got those was we used a ritual of awakening, right, or a tablet of awakening in a ritual bazaar, whatever it's called. And then we just placed some budding amethyst blocks down near it. So we had some of those just already in here, and we crafted up 2 of them guys, so that way I feel like 2 is like a nice amount for this kind of like 4 setup here and everything. But yeah, so that's pretty cool stuff. So kind of the thing we need to jump into right off the bat at least that I'm thinking in this, is I want to get the production of Fluix going in a way that is pretty not automated, but like batch craftable, if that makes sense, where I don't feel like I'm at the point of automation yet. And the way we're going to do that is by utilizing some of these advanced mixers that we can now craft, right? And if we pop down here, we can see really quickly that I set up an ender tank here on this green channel, connecting up to our previous ethanol setup. And we're going to be using this with some molten silver to get some acetaldehyde. And I just realized I need a green dye. If I can find one. Yeah. Lime dye. There we go. But when we have this, right, we're going to be able to... Basically, what we're trying to get is volatile redstone, I believe, to make the overall... no, it's not volatile redstone. We use the destabilized. No. Maybe it is volatile. There was some... One of these would turn into... Or we need for the Fluix crystals. Because I'm trying to get more Fluix crystals is what I'm trying to do. This needed destabilized redstone. Yeah, so that's what I thought. So that'll be cool. We just need to do this real quick. So yeah, let's get started with that. And I'm going to need some universal cables because I'm going to need some power. Because I'm pretty sure we've been laser IOing everything over here. But let's get some universal cables. And dodge that mimic real quick. And we'll set something up over here. We've been using primarily these laser nodes. And yeah, I also did something as well. I added another crafter here and actually implemented the recipe for the 64Ks. So now these are producing 64K storage components instead of 16. And that's going to work out better for us in the long run with just a bunch of different things. But let's, I'm going to tap into this guy right here because this setup is not going to be huge or anything like that. And we'll have this here with a universal cable like that. And then probably need a block in between just so that way it can do what it needs to do. And I'm going to put an input here. So we'll have another universal cable here. So that way that can get going. And I just realized too, we're going to need a fractionating steel. So let me get one of those. This mimic's going to be annoying, isn't it? Yep, dead. So fractionating steel is just this, 2 of these, and then one of these. Okay. So I'm also probably going to want, because I want to store some of this stuff in like a pretty decent sized thing. So we'll do that. We're also going to need silver. So let me get a drawer. We actually have some ender drawers. Don't think I want to do that for that, but we'll grab some normal drawers. Because I don't think I want to set up like where a bunch of our silver will go in. But we'll get some standard ones and we'll get some silver and we'll actually grab the blocks. That way we can carry more. But we'll get some redstone as well. Make some blocks of this. Because we're going to need redstone. But now we will pop over here. And maybe set you up there like that. And put you on the right side. So what we're going to need off the bat is a drawer up here with silver in it. So let's throw all that in there. And throw that in there. And this might be a little too much. Yeah, it's going to be too much. But it's not too big of an issue. We'll craft as much as we can. Yeah. And we should see that if we auto input this, this is going to make molten silver for us. And we should hopefully see auto output. Yeah, molten silver goes into here, right? Now, I think if we put this ender tank here, and then we flip this like that, yeah, our ethanol will go in there. And I'm going to drain this out of the white channel real quick because there was some that was accumulated in there. But this is making our acetaldehyde. And we will put a... Can I put... Let's actually test something real quick. Let's see if we can put these right next to each other and if they'll auto output. Because if they will, that's nice. I don't think they do. Okay. Not the end of the world. We'll just throw a pipe in between with some extraction going. But that's acetaldehyde, right? And once this is in here, then we need a way to pump in redstone. So I'll put this here and just make sure we can't use redstone block now. We're going to get a pusher upgrade. So that way the drawer will do the actual pushing of the items instead of having to have like a item transfer node or something, you know, just something simple for what we're doing over here. So we'll throw you in there and you're set to down by default. So that's good. And then we'll throw this redstone in here, craft all this up just like so. Okay. And then that's that covered. And we have volatile redstone being made now. So we're going to auto input this into our fractionating still. And then this is going to output from where we select it to. So I'm thinking we have a... We don't really need a... I don't think we really need the redstone acid as much at this point. I think it's kind of... Yeah, just for the etching acid, which we don't really need. So what I'll probably do with that is... Let's set up... Can I set up a filter in you? I think I can, if I have a bucket of what I'm trying to do. So let's get a bucket and set that filter up. So that way it'll only void the redstone... Wait, is this redstone acid? It is actually, okay. So this way we'll only void the redstone acid, right? Because I don't want our other stuff getting voided. But we'll set you there and then whitelist you. And then hopefully when we auto output this. Yeah, there we go. So now we're just collecting the destabilized redstone. All right, which is really nice. This is providing a lot for us, so that's pretty cool. I think what I'm going to want to do is actually come out the back here with a dynamic tank. That way I can just always have like a stockpile of this stuff. It's never a bad idea. Have a lot of it. So we'll do something like this and then set you to output. And volatile redstone. Destabilized redstone. Okay, yeah. So you're just automatically pushing in there. So yeah, this will be where our destabilized redstone is acquired. And we'll also, at the same time probably, we'll do something like this. Where, let me put a valve under here. And then we can run some piping like this all the way over to our guy over here. So that way we can have an insertion of destabilized redstone, because that's where we're going to need it for our Fluix crystals. And we should see that not go in. I thought it was destabilized redstone uses quantum assembler. Is it because the molten cheese is in there? Let me pick you up real quick. gonna place you back. Yeah, it was needed to go into that slot. So not that big a deal. We just lost some energy, but we should have that back in no time, realistically speaking. So yeah, we have this set up now, which is super cool. You know, it's gonna be chugging along with what it needs to do. This is working better than anything. We'll really quickly set you. You're withdrawing a lot because of what you're doing, but I guess it's not the end of the world. We'll let this charge up now, and we'll let it do its thing, you know, because we don't want to. We're gonna have some power down at the moment, so probably a good idea to let that recharge, so that way we can still access our system and everything, and then we'll get started on the reason I wanted more Fluix was because we need to make more controllers, more ME controllers for more channels and everything. And so obviously we're going to need Fluix blocks for that. We're also going to need Skystone. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably craft some of this up while we're waiting for that to recharge. So yeah, guys, I'll be back in just a bit when we have all those things ready for us and in place. So yeah, see you in a few. All right, folks, we're back for right now, just for a brief moment. Still a lot of crafting and everything that needs to be done. I wanted to note that I kind of set up this Skystone automation here with this turtle from Computer Craft and everything. You kind of create a program for it and everything, and it'll go around here and break these blocks and all that. I got this idea from Pick, another one of the beta testers / pack developers from the FTB group and everything like that. He makes some pretty awesome, or he made a pretty awesome guide for this mod pack, and I remember seeing this in one of his videos, so I was like, hey, why don't I try that out? And I came up with something that is a little similar to his, but I just executed it in a little bit of a different way, with some of these like redstone links and everything, and just kind of doing it wirelessly and all that. But yeah, as it stands right now, this is getting Skystone for us and everything. While I was doing all that, we had a decent amount of volatile redstone is like building up in this guy. So I wanted to start going ahead and crafting up our Fluix crystals, so that way we would have plenty of those, because I want to try and make a, gosh, I'm trying to think. I don't think I want to make the full 5x5, or is it? It's not 5x5. It's 7x7, isn't it? I look at I thought there was like a little guide for these guys. There might not be. Oh yeah, ponder. Here we go. So if we look at this, 7x7x7, right? So that's a pretty interesting. Yeah, we'll probably go for something like this for the time being, because I also think the larger one requires like a lot more power and everything. But with this will allow us to do like the channels and everything, and we might do a little bit of P2P. I'm not too good at that stuff, so we might try. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm getting the materials for right now at the current moment. These Fluix blocks and everything are kind of the big one, kind of what I'm waiting for. We're also gonna need more Fluix for like cabling and stuff. That'll be a big deal. So yeah, we're just gonna let this craft up, and I'll probably come back to you when we got a little bit more progress on the way. And yeah, we'll see you then. Okay, we got that sorted, so let's get these buildings going, because this is going to be a process, to say the least. But these should be correct now, as long as I break that one on the edge here. And then we drop you in there. So yeah, we're just gonna craft these up and get them going, and then once that's done, we'll get the auto-crafting set up and beginning to kind of get us started on our way with that. So yeah. Okay, folks, after a long and strenuous crafting process, we now have 20 ME controllers under our belt. That took a decent amount of time to do. So the next component of getting this auto-crafting going is we're going to need some of these molecular assemblers. Excuse me. Can't speak. And this needs more quartz glass, which I think we have down here going, if I remember correctly. Because I was making some of this. I probably need just more of this in general. I know we're also going to need a couple of things that are going to make our life easier, actually, first. So let's get a crafting. We look at these. I think it's called, let's look at monitor. ME storage monitor. Crafting monitor. No, it was called, I think I just might be dumb. Can't think of it right now for the life of me. But it's one of these guys down here. Pattern encoding terminal, and then pattern access terminal. There we go. So for this, we need a crafting terminal, which needs an ME terminal. So we'll make one of those. Pattern encoding, crafting terminal, and pattern encoding. And then we need a pattern access terminal, which needs a pattern provider. Right, like so. So we'll grab that guy. All right, and then let's make another one of these guys, and then you don't need... What do you need? Okay. We'll make a couple more of these. Probably like 2 more. Right? Just for the time being. And then we need to make some of these crafting units. So we need more Fluix cable, because I used up a lot of our Fluix cable crafting, but that was no big deal. So we'll make 4 of these. And then let's see. Let's pop over here really quickly to grab our 64K storage, guys. And we have 2 of these. Okay, now that we have these crafting units, we can pop one over to where our storage components are being crafted. And then we can grab these guys out. And I think it's just as simple as combining these 2. Yeah, we'll get 64K crafting storages. And now I need to decide kind of where I want to set this up at. So I can always access the terminal from like a different point. Right, so I also want to have a lot of space though. So maybe for the time being, because I want to kind of transition everything over to here. Maybe we'll set it up here in the center of this for right now. And when we do that, it'll allow us to kind of just have other automation things over here. Oh, stop bouncing up. But this should be a fairly simple assembly here. So something... I don't love that. Thought I would like it in the floor, but I didn't. So let's do this. We'll just build it up off of this. And we'll go like this. And like this. Okay. And then all we need to do is provide it with some type of power. So we'll get a flux point going. Okay, we grabbed a flux point, and I'm going to move our stuff I forgot to grab the drive bay, but I'm going to move this stuff over to here if I can. That way, we'll turn this and we'll connect that up eventually. Don't worry. Because that is where most of our resources are. But we'll get a setup going over here with something. I'm thinking, let's put you there, right? And you can have 32 channels on you. So I'm guessing we'll put this here in the center of this guy, right? And then we'll say connect you to there. And then how much power are you drawing? Output 480. So that's not horrible. So let's just connect up some basic stuff here with what we're going to be doing. And we'll throw a drive here like that and connect all our drives in, everything like that. And then we'll have our crafting terminal, and then we'll have this pattern access and then pattern encoding like so, right? And from here we can start creating patterns, but we need to kind of do something underneath now with some channel stuff. So let's do that. Actually should bust out a block here or something like this. Also, please just bear in mind with me here that I am I haven't used applied energistics in a pretty long time. I'm fairly novice when it comes to this. I usually just go for the easy solution, which is refined storage. But I know that you can kind of set these guys up like this, if I remember correctly. Something like that, to kind of get all these guys online. And this is using 4 channels. So these will allow us to actually put the they won't allow us to put the patterns in, but they basically, I think the way it works is like the larger crafting storage you have, the more crafts that it can process, or like how many sequential items it can process at a time are. So I think that's how it works, if I'm remembering correctly, but I also don't know entirely. So I don't know, we'll do something like that. We'll get more facades. Okay, folks, so now that we have this set up over here, I did a little bit of work as far as cabling goes, and I have now a cable running here that will connect up our storage bus from previously over here. So I didn't really have to move any of this stuff, and we could still access all the resources. So that's very nice. Now what I kind of want to get started with is some potential auto-crafting. So to do that, kind of the first thing I ever tried to do is I kind of try to get the actual patterns auto-crafted. So if we look here at a blank pattern, it needs a couple of components, and the main ones are aluminum plates, glowstone, some sort of certus, and then quartz glass. Right, so we need to make glass, and we need to make plates, and then we also need to make the quartz glass. So I think if we make a couple more of these pattern providers here, I had to craft up some more of the cores and everything, but we have this. I think we have an induction smelter. I think that was what I was just looking at. Yeah, we have an induction smelter, and then we're going to need maybe a multi-servo press for plating, and we don't have bronze. Wow. Let me... Can I induction smelter you? Yeah, I think it's copper and tin. Let me go get some bronze, and then we'll come back when we set this up, so that way we can have everything accessible to us. Just grab some of that. Don't need much. Okay. So let's do our multi-servo press, like so, and then we need a plate. Wasn't there an actual plate? Okay, no, we can just ingot it. So that makes our life even easier. So we do have to make a couple of these patterns initially. So we're going to need to do that. So we can kind of set this up. And we need quartz glass to even begin this. So let me borrow some from over here really quick. So we can go like this and do a couple of blank patterns. So we'll grab some of these. Right. And so the first kind of one that we want to do is a processing pattern. If we look up glass, for instance, and we go to this furnace recipe, and we want to make sure it's one with sand. So we'll say, I'd like to do just normal sand if I can, because I'd like to have sand pumping into the system, because we do have a pedestal for that over here, and we'll probably hook all those up here in a moment. But we'll get this pattern and replace you with not two, just one. And we'll say that's for sand. Okay. And then we need another one for quartz glass, right? Which will be this recipe right here. So that's a processing pattern for quartz glass. And then we need another one for the aluminum plates. So we'll say aluminum. And we'll get this multi-servo recipe and get that going. Okay. So now we have these established, and then we have all our machines. Do we have any universal? Yeah, we'll grab some of you just so we can power some of our machines. So I'm going to come down here to this area. I've kind of prepared for this. And we're just going to tap off of this kind of main channel that we got going on here for the time being. Just laying something down like this. And I'm trying to make sure I do this right. So I think the way we work with these is that we do a little something like this, okay? So let me clear all the inputs on you and just set the back to an input and output, right? And we will give this pattern provider here a pattern of glass processing, okay? And then I also think we need to hook these up like this with just the normal Fluix. And then we'll have a multi-servo, or nope, that doesn't need to go there. Multi-servo here, back input output with a pattern provider here, and we'll say aluminum plates go there. And then we'll have an induction smelter here that will say pattern provider, and then we give this thing the this pattern, right? Okay. And we're using 3. Down here we're using 3 of these channels. Okay, cool. So these all need power. So we'll hook them up top here with a little flux point. And those are getting power now. So now, hopefully I've done this correctly. Now I should be able to, let's say for instance, if I go grab some sand from over here, normally this would be in the system, but let's just say it's not. I should be able to now put this sand in here and go glass, right? And then there's the crafting thing. I think there's craftable. I know there's a way that you can like terminal settings, pin auto crafted items to first row. Maybe it's this. I don't know. But let's look up glass. Right, and as you can see, this says craft now. So let's say we want 20 glass, right? And then we hit start. All right. And then if we pop down here, hopefully that's given this 20 glass now. Yep. And it's like inputting and outputting that. And so we can see here that the glass is getting crafted up and it's got this nice little rainbow effect and everything like that. And then obviously the only thing we're kind of limited by now is how fast this is actually capable, this redstone furnace is capable of processing. Okay, folks, so it turns out I was completely misremembering things. Be patient with me. I am going off for like 2 hours of sleep right now. But yeah, I actually didn't need to put the crafting storages here. I needed to put pattern providers here, right? So that way these guys can actually do our crafts and everything. And then we come down here with, I forgot to turn these into the correct things. Let's do crafting. We need to go to uses for you. Yeah, these co-processing units. So we'll make 4 of them, right? And we'll set these up also similarly down here. I think we'll do them in this pattern. Can we do that? Yeah, does that work for us? Let me break you. We'll do this, then you, and then you, and then you. Yeah, there we go. So now this is all online and everything. And so now we should see, hopefully, with this, we should see if we go up here and try to make some patterns. If we go, yeah, okay. So let's go pattern. We'll craft 10 of you. Next, start. And then hopefully those should craft. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, this needs to be in here. I forgot about that. We need to move all these to here. Yeah. So there's our 10. So we can now just click these. I think if we middle click, yeah. So we could say give us 64 of these. So a whole stack. And then it'll craft up all the stuff it needs, hopefully. If we go down here to like our induction smelter, it's making some glass. Now let's break you, because I was seeing an interesting thing here with this. Oh yeah, and I forgot to hook these guys back up to power. Let me do that real quick. They just slide up under here for the time being and universal cable all these guys up into there. So that way we have proper power going through all these machines. But as we can see, this is getting started now. So once this kicks into full drive, we should see this going now, hopefully. Now, for some reason, this doesn't want to take these back. So we'll use an import bus here to import items back into the system, right? That's what we want to do. There it goes. Okay. So it's doing that. And then these are just crafting in the meantime, and it just has these scheduled and everything. So yeah, that's really sweet. That's kind of our auto crafting and everything set up for a very basic starter auto crafting and stuff like that. You know, nothing too insane yet, just regular stuff. I feel like getting the pattern automated is like the first thing that you do. I started also messing around with getting like these flux linkage amplifiers crafted up. I think we could maybe pull that off now. Let's see. Yeah, storage. No crafting CPUs available. So that's interesting because it counts this as 1. Yeah, CPU 1. So it has 256. So let's actually... I don't want to mess that up. We might separate that, or we might just make more. It kind of just depends. We'll get more of these guys going and everything. We could probably just make a little standalone, actually, real quick. We just get some of these crafting units crafted up. We just make a 64K real quick. And then an engineering processor, like that. That would give us that little thing right there. And we can say, hey, come off of here. And we'll just do a little setup like that. And then that's technically a second CPU, right? We wanted to do the flux linkage amplifiers now. Yeah, start. So yeah, now it's crafting up those very nicely. So we can actually go throw some of these in these machines. Just 3 for the time being. Just so they can move a little bit faster. And we'll get, what would we need for integral components? What do these need? Yeah, see, that'll need signalum, which is a little bit rougher to get, but not too crazy or anything. We could grab some of these patterns. And we'll say, grab you. Integral. What else did you need? Gold gear. So one of you, and get rid of that. And what else? Glass, redstone. So we can make the rest of this. Or we just have it. So let's see. Our plates are there. Our gears are there. And then you go with the molecular assemblers there. Right? And then if we say, give me 10 of you, we start you. You should start crafting up. Right? Hopefully. Yeah, we have gears being made. Now, is this going to need a similar... No, we can auto output. So it's only this guy that for some reason doesn't want to cooperate. It's really strange. Not sure why, but, you know, that's a hurdle to cross eventually. We kind of already solved the issue. Yeah, we can grab some of these now and throw these in these guys. So now you should be working a little bit faster. You know, relatively. But yeah, guys, that's our auto-crafting setup for the very beginning. We're going to get a lot more in depth with it and everything. But yeah, that's probably where I'm going to call it for today's episode. You know, like I said at the beginning of the episode, there's not going to be some videos next week because I have final exams and everything and have to focus up on some real life stuff. But you know, as soon as next week is over, we're going to be right back at it and pumping the videos out. So yeah, as always, guys, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And let me know if you have any recommendations or anything you want to see. I'm always reading the comments and looking down there to see what you guys have to say. So yeah, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.